How to change the key fob battery in a Jaguar X Type 2003 to 2009. If your key fob works only intermittently or doesn't work at all, then the first thing to do is change out the battery. Locate the hole on the rear of the key fob and insert a small flat-bladed screwdriver with a 3mm tip into the hole at a slight angle and pull downwards, releasing the two halves, and then just slide them apart. One quick thing to mention here is the RFID chip that comes paired with the car in the form of a tiny glass pill here. This is paired with the individual car and must stay with the car to deactivate the immobiliser to start the car, and importantly isn't affected by a dead battery or either replacing the battery. If we take the button half of the key fob, we can see that it's made up of two halves that can be split open to gain access to the battery, the buttons and the circuit board. The best way to open this up is to use a small flat-bladed screwdriver here and here, as this relates to the inside covered part of the seam and any damage won't be visible when the key is put back together. And as you can see, it is a little bit gnarled up from previous openings. So hold the key fob firmly with one hand and then place your screwdriver to each side in turn at an angle in line with the slope on the side of the seam, and then prise upwards and you should hear a small click that opens up a little bit. Do this on both sides until it opens up fully. If we look at the remove button section, we can see ridge clips running around the perimeter. There's one long clip on the flat section here, and then if we turn it around we can see another long clip running all the way on the curved section here, and then if we turn it round to the end there's also a clip on the end here. Move the small Phillips screw holding the circuit board in place and gently lift out the circuit board. On the rear of the circuit board there are two flat contacts that marry up with spring contacts on the battery half. And then there's a spring contact on the circuit board that marries up to the flat surface of the actual battery. The small spring contact in the battery case is very delicate and precisely fitted next to the battery and holds tension against the circuit board and the edge of the battery. I believe that this is the Achilles heel of these key fobs and can prove temperamental if not fitted or seated correctly or misshapen in the battery case. Gently ease out the battery. The battery in this case is a CR2032 and I recommend only good quality batteries. Gently insert a new battery, making sure it's free of grease, and push it gently up to the spring clip and make sure it's seated fully in the battery cover. Then gently replace the circuit board and fit the little screw, which I actually found you didn't really need, and it seemed to work much better without the screw because it enabled the circuit board to free float over the contacts and worked a treat, and I've never had a problem with it since, although it is a little bit fiddly when you're putting the two halves together. And then hook the button cover on at the spring clips at the sharp end and then roll over to the front and press firmly together, making sure it's seated all the way around the seam. Then all you need to do is slot the two halves together and click them into place and the job's done. One thing you definitely need to do is make sure all the contacts are clean and free of grease, and a small amount of electrical contact spray is pretty good for that. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, I really appreciate that. It really helps me out with the channel. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.